Black smoke from a socket sky, your tears beneath my neon glow. Plastic vines hide the serpent's eye, blinking slow, blinking slow. Taste static on my tongue, blooming in carbon glass. Heartbeats humming as my pace turns fast. Low brass-bone scales, low saints of errors. Wear my mask, move my hand, build your castles in my dying sand. Far beneath electric lands.
Today marks my 5-year anniversary on NoSleep. I've been writing one story every week for the past 5 years. That equates to a little over 266 stories, approximately. And yeah, I think that's an achievement that's worth celebrating in some way or another. So I figured we'd take a look back on the year that has passed. We've had stories like A Town Without Doors, How I Met Milou, and the 13-part finale to the first Tom Skog story arc that we finalized in The Last Yearwalker. And it's been one hell of a journey. I wanted to settle that story arc before the 5-year anniversary was up. And I think we did that with time to spare. Apart from that, we have also started a new story arc. We've met the town of Hilltop, South Dakota, and we've been down the Run-Along River for quite a few weeks by now. We have seen a lot of new members join our community. I've been reached out to by a lot of fans over the year. I want to thank everyone who's joined in on the discussions, who are discussing theories and lore. It's always inspiring to see people joining me in the comments. And whenever I read YouTube comments and someone says, "It's the blue sunflower," so we know it's gonna get good, that never fails to bring me a smile. And I don't plan on stopping anytime soon. I know there are people, some find it difficult to keep track of how all the stories interconnect, and that it's just too much to keep track of. And I get it, but I also want to reiterate the fact that you don't have to. All my stories are standalones. You can just check in every now and then and enjoy whatever you want. You can skip a few if you want to. To me, writing is not just about being productive, it's about being meditative. Without my writing, I would probably go insane. It's something I do every week to keep myself in check. It's a way to recalibrate my mood. So it's just as much for me as it is for you. With that said, I absolutely adore my audience. You people are absolute crazy mother. And it's just that whenever I think of some weird concept and I think maybe this is too f***ed up, then I think back on all those times when someone has said, "Man, this was absolutely f***ed up. Thank you for writing it." So I don't hold back. I know some of my stories will get taken down, some might get censored, but I don't really care at this point because they will always be available in one shape or form or in one place or another. So they will always be around. I've also worked with a couple of content creators over the past years. I've done some commission work. I do have a couple of rules when it comes to commissions. For example, I never want my work to be paywalled because I don't want any of my fans to ever feel like they have to pay for anything I do. So one rule I have is that all commissions that I do have to be released freely. Well, I have the option to release them freely after about 6 months. So they do have, they can post them however they like for a certain time, but at some point they will be made available for everyone. A lot of people have reached out about me writing longer stories, and the 13-part series that I did last year was a bit of an experiment in that regard, because it was about making a story that was cohesive and longer form and used the third-person perspective, which is what I would do if I wrote a full-size novel. And truth is, I have actually written several, but I'm not that happy with them, and I wouldn't release anything that I'm not happy with. So I'm going to go back to the drawing board and get working on a couple of other ideas. And there's always something cooking in the Saturday kitchen. Over the next year, we are going to see a whole new storyline. We're going to see a whole new cast of characters and monsters and creepy crawlies. And I think everyone has seen a glimpse of my beloved cube by now. The Run Along River cube, or the Nada cube, that I saw some people calling it the Nada cube, and I really like that name, so I'm going to steal that name. The Nada cube came from the idea of a dead pixel. See, when there's a dead pixel on your screen, you don't really think about it until you recognize that there is one. Once you notice that there is a dead pixel, you can't stop looking at it. Then it becomes this intensely frustrating thing. But it's so tiny, and unless you actively think about it, it doesn't really matter. You can't really see it because it's so small. So that was the basic idea behind the Nada cube. But I won't say too much about it because I want you to discover how it functions alongside with me. But I think there are a couple of hints out there already. By the end of this year, I will also be writing a longer part series to build on this part of the setting. And for those wondering, yes, we are still in the Tom Skog timeline. EO is still out there in one way, shape, or another. So we're not completely stepping away from the Tom Skog setting. We're just exploring it in a different way and leaving room for new characters and stories to be told. But yes, it does have it has a connection. I'll just say that. Apart from that, I have been approached by content creators about creating more commissions going forward, and I would love to. The thing about my commissions is if someone says, write this story for me, I don't do that. I'm not a ghostwriter. I will not write something that I don't find interesting. But if someone would come to me and be like, hey, let's just make something weird and then give me a pitch, that might be interesting. Because I don't write just for an income. I write because it's something I genuinely enjoy. And I will never write for another reason than that. With that said, I am exploring a few options to bring something more tangible to my fans. I have discussed creating a collection, a physical collection, an actual book that I would be signing. And the thing is, I just want to edit a few things. Some of my earlier stories are a bit rough around the edges, grammar-wise. but I will be doing a lot of edits, and if there's a big enough interest, then I might release a collection with some of my greatest hits. Um, I've been asked to release all of my short stories as physical copies, but that would be over 266 short stories, and that's a lot of words. I just released the story I have to eat dinner at exactly 6 p.m. just the other day, and it's going pretty well. It's honestly one of my favorite premises that I've written in a long time. And I got a few others that's coming up that's also gonna tickle your interest a little. But just know that if you're smiling at that title because you find it silly or stupid, know that I am too. But nothing I do is done at half value. I do not make jokes about premises. If there is something like, if we look at old premises like no milk, or the 72-hour sleep ban, or getting stuck in traffic while getting murdered by bird mutants, it's like whenever I bring up a premise, I take it to the logical conclusion, and that's the way I write strange horror, Junji Ito style horror, and I'll probably continue doing that. Sorry for rambling. It's just I'm very excited about this 5 years of no sleep and writing, and I'm really looking forward to the next year. And perhaps next year we will be celebrating a 6 year anniversary, and in a couple of years we might even be celebrating a 10 year anniversary. I don't know. So just thank you for reading, thank you for sticking with me, and please look forward to the many things to come. As you've noticed, we are taking things to another level, and we're bringing it. I like making YouTube shorts now, that you've noticed. I'll also make some Instagram reels, and it's nice to have that creative outlet, and I'll keep doing it. Um, I I wanted to say as long as you keep reading, I'll keep writing, but honestly, I think I will be writing even if you're not reading. But the reading part is definitely a perk. It's really nice to see that there are so many people who are excited to see me post every weekend. I'm not gonna ramble anymore. Uh, so just thank you and have a good night.